Hello, and welcome to the Telescope Show. We laugh, we discover God, and we totally nerd out. My name is Matthew Seipel Anderson.
And I'm Katie Seipel Anderson.
We're very glad to have you with us on this fine, warm winter day.
And sunny.
Yeah, it's nice and sunny.
Nice and sunny today. And it's episode 151 for us.
Hey!
Wow. So we have a drawing to do first off.
Right away.
We're just going to do the drawing for the comic books for responding to the Would You Rather. Come on, I'm all excited to draw.
So we posted online, just for those who might not have listened to the previous episodes, we posted a Would You Rather question that went something like this. Would you rather spend a 5-year journey into space with the Star Trek Enterprise with the captain of your choice, or a 5-year journey with the Guardians of the Galaxy?
And some of the responses had very good qualifiers with them, such as, but I wouldn't want to be a red shirt, or if I could be guaranteed to live, that kind of stuff. So good qualifiers with some of the responses. Way to think things through, people. All right, I'm just really excited to draw,
thank
and
you
you're
for
not
everyone,
letting me draw it.
So thank you, everyone who was a part of it. Katie is going to draw a name out of our sort of hat thing we have going on here.
My hand was there ready for a long time, and Matt was withholding it from me. So, Chris.
Hey!
Congratulations,
Chris. Congratulations.
You are our winner of comic books.
Stack of comic books.
A bunch. Some comic books. So happy reading.
Happy reading.
Well, today I have a Would You Rather for Matt.
Just for me.
Well, I mean, it's for everyone, but I want you to answer it. Would you rather live on the Star Wars world or in the Star Trek world? No other qualifiers, just live in one or the other of those worlds.
Well, that's a tough call. Very tough call. There are pros and cons, right? To each side. The Star Trek world, if you lived on Earth, would be pretty nice. You know, no money, you just work for the betterment of humanity, spaceships, replicators. On the other hand...
What could replicate a guitar for you?
Dude, that might have just tipped the scales right there. But how cool would it be to be born a Force user and maybe be a Jedi? So it's tough. I don't know.
So it's like adventure versus comfort.
Yeah.
You could have some adventures in Star Trek, too. And you could have some comfort in Star Wars. But I agree that the potential for a comfortable living in Star Trek seems a little greater than Star Wars.
I would like to know what some of you listening would rather do. Would you rather live in the Star Trek universe or the Star Wars universe? Let us know in the comments.
And you might want to think of some good qualifiers for your response.
Right.
Such as, if I could be guaranteed not to be an evil lord or something.
Yeah, or not work in one of Emperor Palpatine's death mines.
Yeah, something like that. Those might be. I wouldn't want to be in that, like, water world place where they...
Drink that green milk from that weird sea animal thing?
No, that wasn't what I was... What?
From the one where Luke Skywalker dies. He's on that planet.
Oh,
on that island.
That's not what.
You weren't going there?
I wasn't going there, but thanks for the visual now. All right. Well,
speaking of Star Wars, we're talking about something from the Star Wars universe today.
The Mandalorian is almost here.
Season 3.
Just around the corner.
And we're going to give you our predictions
and you'll find out really quickly if they're right or not.
So, first off, let's start off by talking about kind of a side character, Ahsoka. She's a fan favorite.
Why are we starting with Ahsoka?
Well, just kind of like getting in. We don't want to start off with the main characters and then just, not have anything cool to talk about.
Well, okay. I mean, I like Ahsoka. It just seems weird because she's not really even in...
But
in The Mandalorian.
She crossed paths with him in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, that's true.
She's getting her own show. So
the chances of seeing an appearance from her, at least reference to her, are pretty great.
Right.
Is that a prediction?
I'm just going to for fun, I
Because
predict,
none of the rest of this is fun.
just in good humor, not to be taken too seriously.
I take Ahsoka very
Well,
seriously.
I predict Ahsoka gets a little appearance. I think they're
Like
gonna.
a little teaser.
I think they're gonna let us know what she's up to, just to get us hyped up for her show.
That would make sense. That would be logical.
So another amazing female character in this show is Bo-Katan.
And I'm going to be interested to see what they do with her character. Is she going to, like, be straight up evil? Is she going to be, like, a good evil because she just wants what's best for her people?
Did you say a good evil?
A good evil? I don't know. That's not really a thing. Those are two polar opposites. I mean, like, has good intentions, but maybe doesn't always
Have a lot of scruples. Is willing to just get the job done.
maybe in dark and devious ways. But we don't know that that's what it's going to be. Maybe she'll save the day. Maybe she'll be the hero of the series.
Is that a prediction?
No, that's not
Oh, come
a
on.
prediction.
Live a little. Make a prediction.
I think her character. This is a very safe prediction. I think her character is going to grow in complexity, and we will have an emotional attachment to her, whether or not she ends up being a disappointment. I don't know.
I predict Bo-Katan
Fights Mando.
I predict she fights Mando, but I also predict she becomes one of the heroes of the show.
Okay.
I
Do you think she's going to get the dark saber?
I think so. I think she is going to grow into a noble and worthy leader.
Of Mandalorian.
Yes.
Mandalore, I mean.
Yes.
Of the Mandalorians. So whoever yields that sword is like the ruler of the Mandalorians, correct?
Yeah. They
So
have
right now, technically, Mando is the leader of the Mandalorians.
or at least he could be. There's something connected to the Darksaber and, yeah, uniting the clans to be the leader. I don't know if it's like a given or if that's just one piece of the puzzle.
Maybe Grogu will get the sword.
That would be hilarious.
And he's like,
Hey, those of you out there who are big into Star Wars lore, if you want to educate us a little bit, feel free to do that in the comments. I would love to learn a little bit more.
that would be interesting.
Is that a prediction?
No.
Come on!
Oh, I'm like so tentative on predictions, I guess. Well, sure. Let's just make that a prediction.
At some point, Katie predicts Grogu will hold the Darksaber.
There we go. Let's try it.
I think it's completely plausible.
I just would like to see him try. He's little. Is it possible?
Then
With the Force, it's possible.
Then they could create a Darksaber edition Grogu plush toy.
I'm sure they're thinking of the economics of this storyline as well.
Oh.
So that could very well be.
All the time.
That dark saber is kind of like a power struggle. Seems to be what it is. Because there's Bo-Katan that wants it. We don't really know if she's a good guy or a bad guy at this point. And then
Mando has it.
Mando has it.
And he won it from Moff Gideon.
And Moff Gideon wants it back.
Yeah.
So we've got
because-
this power struggle for this ruling saber. What if you were the people being ruled? I mean, is it a choice of theirs, or are they just like, meh, they want it, I don't know. You know, do the people of Mandalore, do the Mandalorians have any kind of real say in what happens, or is it just the strongest wins and that's that, and they all just kind of take it?
In the lore of Star Wars, Mandalore is a warrior culture, and so they have a lot of respect for the person who can win the Darksaber in combat, by their strength. What's interesting about that idea is that's an idea that has driven a lot of culture in the real world. However, when you look at the life of Jesus, Jesus took that idea and turned it on its head. And this is the show where we love to look at God through geek culture, or discover God through geek culture. And I think this is a really great illustration of people ruling by power, by might, and how the idea that Jesus brought out was that the kingdom of God didn't work that way. The kingdom of God was about service. You're great if you serve. You're great if you love your enemies. And he flipped that whole idea upside down.
But there is a little conquering. I mean, Jesus sacrificed himself, so he served, but then he also conquered sin and death for us. So while he doesn't like rule people that way, it's like an invitation. He did like conquer. You could say he's a type of warrior.
There's sort of a spiritual conquering.
Against sin and death.
And then Jesus invites us to be a part of his kingdom. And for his kingdom to come inside of us, so we like submit to his rulership, but it's a voluntary submission.
It's a true warrior scenario, conquering, but a voluntary submission. If you want that freedom from being slave to sin and death.
But would I want to follow someone who won the dark saber in single combat? Not really.
And it doesn't really sound like they have a choice in the matter. I don't think they hold elections or something. It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like they're just like, you won it, you're our leader.
You know who else I think could potentially win the dark saber is...
Grogu.
We've already established that. The armor bearer.
Oh, yeah.
The leader of that.
And would she come back as a good guy or a bad guy? She's kind of been a...
She's sort of been a sage, but she's part of that really extreme sect, and she definitely wouldn't get along with Bo-Katan.
No. But they could come together and fight together if there's some outside army or invading force. I could see that happening.
Led by Moff Gideon.
So
that could be it. We'll see.
And then Grogu shows up with the Darksaber, and he saves the day. Perfect storyline.
Magical. One more thing I want to ask about, and this is getting really, really dark and spooky. What about all these secret experiments going on with the Empire? Remember in episode or season 1?
Oh, that weird scientist guy.
They wanted Grogu for his blood, and then throughout they've sort of teased that there are these like secret labs where they're doing experiments, and you even saw like clones in big, huge, like watery tubes. And that is all leading to the creation of Snoke, who's going to sort of be the puppet emperor. So, are they going to delve into that whole side of things in season 3? Or is that going to just continue to be like in the background? Or what do you think?
I think it's going to continue to be in the background.
I'll play the other side of the coin. I think they're going to explore it a little bit more.
In the background or in the foreground?
For the sake of argument, the foreground.
I was going to say, because otherwise it's not really much of an argument, because I said it'll still be in the background. So that's still exploring it more.
I think it will be part of the show. Actually, I don't know. I just don't know what role it will play.
But are you making a prediction on it?
I am predicting that we will learn significant new information about the creation of Snoke.
It seems like another safe prediction.
Okay. I predict they bring back that scientist doctor guy from the first season who sort of saved Grogu.
I could see that.
I predict they bring him back.
I could see that.
And I predict he gets the Darksaber.
Grogu is going to fight him for it.
Yeah.
The final battle scene is between the scientist and Grogu.
Oh, man. Well, y'all, we would love to hear your predictions for The Mandalorian Season 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our show. Make sure you open up a podcast app. It can be Spotify, it can be Apple Podcasts, it can be Google Podcasts, or there are a number of other podcast apps that you can download. But get onto a podcast app and subscribe to our show so you don't miss any episodes. You can connect with us through our website, thetelescopeshow.com. And we love you. Take care. Until next time, God bless. Bye-bye.